Add him to the list. The prize pool is officially up to $700 now. It's just that the dude plays running back. I don't think there's a chance unless someone gets hurt, which you can't really be banking on because we have a solid top three, Najee, Jaylen Warren, and now Anthony McFarland. And then don't rule out Connor Hayward from getting carries because he's like our halfback 4/tight end 4, but is also a slot receiver, a.k.a. just a damn good football player. But I think it's going to be tough for Valladay to make the roster with all these pieces already in place. But the skinny on Xazavian is he was an undrafted rookie free agent this year, signed with the Texans, but recently got released, and we picked him up. Really productive in college at 2 different locations, Wyoming for 4 years, and then at Arizona State for 1. I watched his highlights and was really impressed with his combination of speed and a very smooth running style. I'm actually kind of surprised the Texans moved on from him. Like in a vacuum, I really like this dude's potential. It's just the Steelers' RB room is kind of busy right now. I think he's a definite upgrade over the dude we just released that's essentially Valladay, who Valladay is going to be replacing in John Lovett. And he's also an upgrade over anyone else on this depth chart after Ant Max. So I would solidly have him as RB4 for the rest of the preseason. But moving on, and before I talk about the worst take that I've witnessed in a while, we'll do that as the last topic. I actually want to acknowledge a good take that I saw yesterday, and that was from one of you guys in the comments. So for context, I was talking about the new cornerback signings and also mentioned how our cornerback room has taken some hits this offseason with the injury bug. And at AJM5160 goes on to say, we should have signed Eli Ricks when we had the effing chance. SMDH. Yeah, I agree. Times 10. And I know we took Corey Trice with our first 7th round pick, and we took JPJ in the 2nd round, so some may question if it would have been overkill to grab 3 cornerbacks. But would it really have hurt to take Eli Ricks with our 2nd, 7th round pick instead of Spencer Anderson? Or at least make him a priority as an undrafted free agent because he didn't even get drafted at all. And I'm not saying Ricks is a slam dunk to be a superstar, but there's no denying that his potential is off the charts. Like, he was a top 20 prospect coming out of high school going into college. Like, top 20 prospect, overall player, not just for his position. And then you have guys like Terrence Garvin, who is correspondent for the Arthur Most Experience with Deke podcast, and former NFL player, former Steeler, saying that Ricks was a top 5 cornerback on his list for this prior NFL draft. So I just think it would have been worth a flyer to add him to the young cornerback duo that we already had in Porter and Trice and make it a trio. Plus, he's already doing shit in the preseason. Had a pick 6 in his first preseason game as an Eagle. And what I'm saying right now isn't hindsight 2020 because you could check the tapes after the draft. I was saying I wish we would have taken a chance and got Ricks either in the 7th round or as an undrafted free agent. And I don't know why I'm going on this rant right now about Eli Ricks on Big Deke News, which is a Steeler-focused show, but I saw the comment and just wanted to roll with it, decided to vent. Oh well. But finally, let's go over the worst take that I've heard in a while, thanks to Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio.
Because a couple of years ago, it's like, they got something special here in Chase Claypool. Why aren't they throwing it to him more? Why aren't they using him more? What's going on here? What don't we know about Chase Claypool that's causing the Steelers to not use him the way they could, the way they should, and now he's in Chicago? So it makes me kind of lean forward even more with George Pickens to see how it's going to play out. Are they going to take full advantage of this special talent that they've found? They've got a knack for finding great players at the receiver position in the draft. But, man, with Claypool, we got to start asking, do they know how to use? Do they know how to develop?
Sure.
Do they know how to cultivate a talent like that? Or is it wasted in the Pittsburgh offense? That's why it's more of a pressing question for me with Pickens, because it never came to fruition the way it could have with Claypool.
Come on, bro. Tell me you didn't watch Chase Claypool without telling me you didn't watch Chase Claypool. Because he was his own biggest problem. Had nothing to do with the Steelers not being able to develop him. In fact, he was productive here. We didn't have to trade him. I think it was just one of those things where we saw Claypool's report card after 2.5 years and realized that he wasn't going to live up to the wide receiver one or franchise receiver potential that we built him to be. Is that a Steeler issue or is that a Claypool issue? I think it's a Claypool issue. And you know why I feel that way? And you know why I feel like I'm right is because look at what he did in Chicago. As soon as he gets traded there, he was doing nothing. And the fact that the Bears went out of their way this offseason with Claypool already being on their team, went out of their way and traded for a wide receiver one in DJ Moore. So, like, if they even believed in Claypool that way to be a franchise guy, like, you don't give up assets to go out there and get another one because you already had Darnell Mooney on your roster, too. That's a good 1-2 combo if you have a Claypool to be your wide receiver one and Darnell Mooney. You don't have to give up assets to get another guy like that. And I hate to say it, but Claypool may never top what he did here in his rookie season for the rest of his NFL career. Whereas with Pickens, Florio was the one that made the comparison between Claypool and Pickens. Pickens is only getting started. 800 yards and a few touchdowns last year was his floor, his basement. It's only going up from here. Like, he legitimately might be one of the best receivers in the league once his prime hits. Like, hell, he might be in the top 10, the top 5 come next season. He's a dog. Like, there's no doubt about that. I don't think anyone questions it. Whereas with Claypool, it's definitely up for debate. I'll just leave it at that. So it's not an issue of the Steelers not being able to develop receivers. It's laughable to even think that because our track record says otherwise. This was just a one-off case where I still think we made a good draft pick in picking up Claypool. I think that was a good value pick in the second round. It just didn't pan out the way we would have hoped after he got here. Yeah, simple as that. But that's it for today's Big Deke news on a Wednesday. Let me know your thoughts of the new running back signing. Should we have got Eli Ricks? Should we have made a bigger push to get Eli Ricks either in the 7th round or tried to get him as an undrafted free agent? And then your thoughts on Florio's take on Pickens and Claypool. I already know what that's going to be. Yeah, it's a joke of a take. But again, stay chilling. Hope you enjoyed, and peace.